Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka a late Bengals fan on most of the major platforms, and I am joined here by super fans Riley Goldman and Heath Goldman, and this is the Week 18 Jungle Talk recap. All right, hey, and as we
Hey,
do when the Bengals win, we throw one back. I've got some McAllen here. I won't ask Riley what's in his.
good old H2O.
Good old H2O. All right, so
Hey, can I start
um,
for a second?
what's that?
Can I start?
Sure, if you would like. I was
I would
just going
like to
to
talk about.
remind everybody to
Go ahead.
subscribe. It's all we ask you to do. Support the channel. It's a show by fans, for Bengal fans. We give you recaps right after the game. I didn't drink throughout the whole game, so I'm sober for these broadcasts. So please just support the channel. Hit the thumbs up. Helps us out with the YouTube analytics. And go start us off, Heath.
I want to talk about the MVP of this game. It just happens to be number 14 on black. George Pickens couldn't catch a ball, even when it thrown his way. If he makes some of those catches, who knows what would have happened? So, George, this one's to you, brother.
Yeah, well, that's always bad when our MVP is on the other team. But you know what? This game did not need to be this close. At halftime, we should have been up by a lot more. I mean, at least a couple touchdowns. And I mean, I'm not upset. I know I bet the over 2.5 touchdowns by Joe Burrow, and I didn't win that prop bet. But this game shouldn't have been. This should have been put away. What did that? The if I remember correctly, Pittsburgh had what 70 yards or 90 yards total in offense, and then 70 yards on one drive. We let them hang around, and we made this
Yeah.
game in typical Bengal fashion closer than it needed to be. I mean, we're on the edge of our seat, worrying at the end of the game when it should
Okay.
never even have been there. So,
Hey, I would like to talk. Would like to talk about a couple of things though. That Khalil Hilbert, welcome to the team. Way to step up and play. I mean, he really had a great game for us today.
Well, he did.
Um,
But I had three takeaways. Let me give you my three takeaways from the game. Okay. Number one, we are definitely in the guard market in the offseason. There's no question. Whether it's through the draft, free agency, or both, Volson is the weak link on that line. We are 100% in the guard market. That's my first takeaway. My second one, while I was happy with the way Herbert played, Herbert is no Chase Brown. There were catches that Chase would have been in the end zone on that one catch where he pivots around. First downs that he would have picked up. I mean, he's a good backup. He was a great acquisition at the trade deadline for a seventh rounder, but he is no Chase Brown. And the last one is, if this didn't show you, I mean, we've seen it in the stats. When T's on the field, we average 2 yards more per play. You saw the difference in the passing attack the second T wasn't on the field. So those are my three takeaways. You have to re-sign T. We definitely are in the guard market, and we missed Chase Brown. We did.
I will say this: I wasn't suggesting by any stretch of the imagination that Khalil was replacing Chase. I was just saying, welcome to the team.
Oh yeah, no. He did a
He really did what he did. I never expected that from him. I mean, I thought he played a hell of a game relative to what I was expecting. I don't know about anybody else, but I will say this though: Cody Ford could slot right in there to one of those guard positions if we can keep our right and left tackles healthy.
Yeah, and I once again, my MVP, if you want to put an MVP on our game, Cody Ford was that MVP. I mean, that guy was moved around. He went out there wounded. He played an amazing game against TJ Watt half the time with no help whatsoever. So hats off to the Cody Ford. Thank you. Just for putting us in the position right now. Because without any of the people you just mentioned, without Herbert's effort, without what Cody Ford did, we don't win this game. We
How about
don't.
that first down? I wish Devin was here. How about that first down catch by Tanner Hudson on that?
Oh yeah.
No.
I thought he got inside the 10, and then when they spotted the ball, he was at the 10. I mean, it looked like his whole body was like at the 7, but I didn't know about the spot. But
There were a lot of spots this game that were a little questionable. Most of them towards first downs for the Steelers, but win's a win. Don't need to get into all that.
oh yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not
I,
complaining. And the officiating is like, listen, replay got stuff right when they kept spotting the ball incorrectly. You could see Russell Wilson's elbows down, behind the yard marker.
That
I
was
mean,
huge.
I don't expect the officials. I'm not blaming the officials on the field because we see that from the overhead shot from a replay. The officials are looking down the line. They can't see that. So, but replay assist, I thought did a good job. You know that we had a late change on officials. We were supposed to have somebody who's not that favorable for us. And for whatever reason, because this crew is supposed to work the Eagles game tomorrow. And they ended up getting switched into our game, which I was happy to see. We're 5-4 again now. 6-4 with this official. So this group of officials. But
I mean, I think my MVP of the game, we haven't talked about it. Trey Hendrickson's 3.5 sacks.
Yeah.
I mean, huge.
And when we needed them, I mean, we got it early on, but when we needed him late in the game, he was there. My question, 3rd and 9, when they're back at at like their 15 or something. This is the last drive of the game for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 9, and Trey was on the sidelines, and I was like, "What the hell is he doing?" They showed him on camera standing there talking to one of the coaches. I was like, "Why isn't he in the game?" And they convert the 3rd down. So. I was concerned. Boswell's got a good leg. He's kicked a lot of 50-yarders. They were only about 20 yards at taking a shot. And it's a 2-point because of our failures in the red zone. I mean, when you get there that many times, or I'll say our failures in scoring position, because some of them were inside the 40, but our failures to convert all those into touchdowns, we're only up by 2. We could lose the game. So
Riley and I were talking about the same thing. But you were going to say something before.
I mean, besides that, it was a 3rd down. He had gone a couple plays. He had been playing the whole game. I mean, guys are going to need a breather. So, I mean, not having Trey there hurt because they got the 1st down, but
right.
It's kind of expected he's not going to be on there every single play. We have to hope our, Miles Murphy finally makes an appearance. Or
I saw Jenkins make some plays today, but I did not see anything from Miles Murphy. We can ask Jake on a later show.
Go back and look at this play that we're talking about, because I saw Hendrickson stand there and I'm like, holy shit. Then I saw Miles Murphy line up on the right side. He just missed getting to
okay, all right. So I was like, why is Hendrickson on the sideline? So
Riley's right. I think he was cold and needed a breather. That was not a place where you need a breather, but Murphy almost got home on that. He made a nice move on the inside on the left guard, right in between the gap on the guard tackle, and almost got there.
No, you know what? Maybe by some miracle, and we said this, Riley. You weren't part of the preview show, but I had thrown out a game before Jake even did his predictions. One of the games I really like this week is the Jets. And it's not because, it's Tua is not playing, but it's Miami and the cold temperature up in New York. And Aaron Rodgers does not want to leave New York on a losing note. He wants to make a statement before he leaves, and he still needs his 500th touchdown pass. So I really think the Jets do come through for us tomorrow, beating Miami with the cold temperature.
That's all we need, brother. You know that.
Right, but the Denver game is the one I just, it's really hard for me to imagine Carson Wentz going out there and winning the game. It's going to have to be the defense. Denver needs to help us out. They need some turnovers, and then the defense can win the game. But it's really hard. Wentz is going to be more of a game manager. He's not going to have all the weapons at his disposal. Pacheco's not playing. Brown's not playing. Hopkins isn't playing. I mean, it's just really hard for me to imagine Denver not winning tomorrow. It just did.
I'm thoroughly worried about that game. The Broncos pushed us to the wire last week. They've been pushing they're a good team. That defense is legit.
Yeah.
I really don't see them losing to the backups of the Chiefs.
I don't either, but stranger things have happened, True. Bo Nix gets concussed. There's a turnover, and I'm not wishing a concussion. Don't think that but I'm just saying it's a fluid situation, you never know.
And you know what? And this is where we need to say it. It's all on us.
Oh, 100%. I don't if Denver goes out and wins tomorrow and they get the seed and they go to Buffalo, this is on McPherson missing 2 at the game you and I were at, the Charger game. This is on, us botching the hold. This is on 2 bad calls on the referees, the
Why don't we
Kansas City.
talk? Hold on a second, Mark. You got to go way back to the game. How about none of our starters starting in the preseason and not being ready for game 1, 2,
Yeah,
or 3?
and losing to the Patriots. I mean, you can look. There's so many. When you miss out by one game, we can go back and we can look at all the chances we had, and we did it to ourselves. We did it to
100%.
ourselves. So,
100%.
Hey, let me throw this.
We won 5 in a row to even give us a chance to live another day is pretty is it was beyond. I never even thought this could happen.
Yeah, no, here we are. We're watching football tomorrow, hoping for the best, and you know what? Stranger things have happened. They really have. The Chiefs have gone in having locked up the 1 seed. We talked about this on Thursday. The Chiefs have gone in having the 1 seed already locked up, and they've won 3 of 4. Now, one of those games was Patrick Mahomes' first start when they rested Alex Smith going into the playoffs. Okay, and the other 2 they just managed. They weren't against the team because Jake went back and looked at the teams they played. This is the first one where they played somebody who needed to win it to get into the postseason. Yeah. So they haven't faced an opponent of this caliber with this much on the line going into it. So the fact that they won 3 of 4 doesn't necessarily mean that doesn't bode well for us because this is a completely different set of circumstances.
Well, here's the real question also. Do they want to go? It's about 21 days, I believe, their playoff game since their last game without any of those starters playing. So
Andy Reid's already said Mahomes isn't playing. They're resting starters. That's his. Dan Campbell takes a different approach. Who do we have recent? Dan Campbell last week playing everybody against against San Francisco, where he didn't need to play anybody.
They didn't have to.
They didn't have to. If they win tomorrow night, they're the 1 seed. It didn't matter whether they won or lost last week because if they lose, they're tied with the Vikings, and the Vikings, would have the tie. I guess the Vikings have the tie. No, the Vikings would be a game ahead, and if they won, they would have had the head-to-heads. So the game last week made no difference to them. Campbell still played all his players. LaFleur is playing his starters tomorrow because he's not happy with what he's seen. He hasn't seen a complete game from the team. He's going to play. Jordan Love's playing. So it's just a different mindset, going into the postseason. And Andy Reid's approach is to rest guys. So that's what's going to happen. And we can't fault the Chiefs at all. They're in their position. They get to make the decision, and that's the decision they made. And this is on us. I want
to pose a bit of a hypothetical. First half this season, almost every single week, we were calling for Zach Taylor's head, wanting him out, wanting a new coach. Now we're waiting for 2 games to play out to make the playoffs possibly. We don't make the playoffs. Is Zach Taylor still on the hot seat?
I've said this before. I don't think he's on the hot seat unless Burrow puts him on the hot seat. It's Burrow's decision. It really is. If he wants Zach gone, Zach's gone. It doesn't have to be this season or anything. Burrow's calling the shots. He's the face of the franchise. And Burrow seems happy with Zach. They work well together, and he's happy with him. Just like tonight, let's look at this game. Would you have taken Would you have taken the holding penalty late in the game?
Probably not.
Okay, I wouldn't have, and this is the reason I wouldn't have. There's so many variables. We get a defensive holding penalty. Who cares if it's a 3rd and 25? You automatically give them a first down. Tomlin was going to go for the field goal. Let him take the field goal. Don't go. See, that's a huge risk you took on for inevitably they still came back and they were actually 2 yards closer because they got 7 and they lost, or they got 12 and lost 10. They were actually 2 yards closer for the field goal than they would have been. And we took on the risk of what if we had one of those 5-yard automatic first down penalties? So I personally, I think Troy Aikman or Joe Buck said, I think it was Aikman said, I don't know that I would have accepted, that penalty. I would have just, you're still winning. Let him kick the field goal, get the ball back.
Mark, I don't think you're right on the numbers. They picked up 7. They lost 10 and picked up 7.
Okay.
So they were still 3 yards farther back. And when you're talking about Boswell's leg, I'm not saying that's a
Boswell has hit so many 50-yarders. Like I said, I just personally, the risk you took on that what could have gone wrong and given up a first down, it doesn't have to be the yards. Just because you put them in a 3rd and 25 doesn't mean you don't give up the first down on a penalty. So
I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but you know what? They put their trust in the defense, and our line actually got a lot of pressure on Russell Wilson today. Our defense actually played relatively well.
Oh, our defense played extremely well.
Yeah.
Our defense played extremely well. I mean, we held this team down. We did exactly what we didn't do in the first meeting, and and we also got some help. Russell Wilson running the ball and not throwing it away at late. That could have saved them a lot of time. Yeah. Newton was burned on that one play, and we were thank you Pickens. And then, like I said, there were certain things that we got help on that we could have been exposed to. That's the thing about taking the penalty is it only takes one little breakdown, one guy out of position, and why take the chance?
Hey, one more huge kudos. Huge kudos. You should have talked about it earlier in the show. Cade York, 4 for 4.
Yeah. Oh no, he had me worried in the beginning because he had his very first kickoff. We go down the field. The game couldn't have started any better. We go down the field, make it look easy, score the touchdown, and then his kickoff, I don't know if the ball moved because it blew off the tee once, but his kickoff didn't even get remotely close to the 20-yard line.
Well, Riley and I rewound it twice. We still never saw the ball. I had no idea.
It blew off the tee once when they were talking, and he went back and set it up. I
didn't see that.
I thought maybe the ball moved when he went to kick it, and that's what happened. But I mean, we give him the ball at the 40.
How about DJ Ivy? I mean,
I learned another one.
You learn that when you played high school. As soon as that ball's kicked anywhere near you, just run out of there on a punt.
Right, and it just touches his foot, and they recover it, and we're just like sitting here going, "Really?" I mean,
stepped up.
We had an opportunity, and this is what I meant early on in the first half. We had an opportunity. We scored. Then forced the 3 and out, got the ball back, drove down the field, got a field goal. We're up 10-0. We kick off again, and we had an opportunity. It was like a 3rd and long, and we had an opportunity to get off the field, get the ball back again, and maybe go up another score. And we had the play where Newton was in position to make the play, and Mike Williams makes the catch, and they end up getting their first score. That was an opportunity. It's little breakdowns like that. Newton has shown flashes. He's still a rookie. I kudos to how he's played this year. He's gotten valuable snaps. He's going to be a very good, defensive back for us next year. But that was one of those where he was in position, and that play got it to where we had a real opportunity. We go up 17-0 to start the game, and I think we take the air right out of this building. I think maybe at halftime, Tomlin starts thinking about resting people. It's a different mindset if we go out like that, and we didn't do that. We've lacked that killer instinct all year.
Mark, remember, this is why we're doing this. W's a W, as Riley said.
Yeah.
And we beat Pittsburgh and kept them from getting the number 1.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing. If the Chargers win tomorrow, which I think they will, they're playing the Raiders. I went to make a bet. I thought about doing it at halftime before the game ended, but after the game they took the Charger game offline because they're redoing the spread now. That it's a big impact game, and it's not going to be the 6 points or whatever the Chargers were, or 4.5 is what I think it was. The Chargers were favored. Now it's going to be a much bigger line. This is going to send Pittsburgh to Baltimore. Everybody wants to go to Houston. Now it's the Chargers that will probably go to Houston, and this team's going to Baltimore, and they're going to get crushed. I mean,
let's just hope we're going to Buffalo.
Yeah, well, that's like I said. That's all in the hands of the Chiefs and Carson Wentz. Or maybe we're looking at that game and saying, hey, wait a second. Thank you very much. if there's a guy on Denver who costs them the game, who's our MVP. I don't know, but we're going to need there's something's going to have to happen that's out of the ordinary for Denver not to win that game. With that's a Sean Payton coach team. You have to figure in Denver against the backups, and once again, it's our fault. So,
100%.
but let's hope. Let's
All
hope.
right.
Well, like I said, if you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It's all we ask. Support the channel. It's a show by fans for fans. Hopefully we're up doing a preview show next week. If not, we'll be doing a season recap later in the playoffs. I don't know. But that's why you've got to subscribe. You got to slam that bell so you know when our videos go up. And you got to hit the thumbs up for us to help us out with the YouTube analytics. Riley, are you doing anything you want to promote or?
Not right now. Trying to figure out everything. Just got a new camera, so hopefully gonna get some more pictures up, but we're still
Right.
working on it.
Well, he will be tagged in my Twitter post. So if you go ahead and start following Riley. He's got some stuff in the works, and let's just all we can do is keep our fingers crossed as Bengal fans, toast the win, toast beating the Steelers, and at least hopefully setting them to Baltimore, which is where I think they're going to be headed. I have a friend who's a Steeler fan, and he's basically said that he didn't care who they played. He thought they were one and done. He didn't think they were going to beat Houston. So,
And guessing we have a lot of Ohio State fans on this show too. Let's get a big W next Friday.
oh, I got to tell you that what a great road. Jake and I both liked. I liked all four teams that played a week ago. I said there's a huge advantage to playing a week ago. The missed seeding added to that, but we really liked it. That was Jake's pick of the week. And let's remind everybody that Jake gave you 2 college basketball winners today. He told you that Kentucky was going to beat unbeaten Florida, and they did. And he said Nebraska was going to beat who did Nebraska? Oh, UCLA, and they did. So there's 2 more winners today. But yeah, that Ohio State was huge. So I think Ohio State wins it all, to be honest with you. I really do.
You'll see Riley and me, I guess, in the Jerry Jones Stadium next Friday for that game.
Excellent. All right, I want to see posts on Facebook and stuff. So, and Riley, you post some stuff on your Twitter account. So follow Riley for you Ohio State fans, because Riley will put some stuff up from the game. So, all right, enjoy.
Happy New Year and Houday.
Houday, Happy New Year, everybody. Enjoy Sunday football, and let's hope for the best. Okay, take care, everybody.